diplomatic purposes, okay, to another country. For example, Mr. Modi would be given an official visa if he's traveling to USA or anything such kind of thing, okay. A diplomatic visa is a combination with a regular or diplomatic passport. So usually it can be valid with a regular passport, but we all know for a diplomatic people, okay, for a diplomatic person, there always lies up a diplomatic passport, okay. Now, courtesy visas are issued to representatives of foreign governments or international organizations who do not qualify for diplomatic status. Now, let's say courtesy visas are those visas, you are a staff, okay, and now let's say you're a staff working in a government and you won't be given any diplomatic visas because you are not a head of that particular thing. So you won't be given any diplomatic visas, but you would be given as a courtesy visa because you are from that particular country and you do not hold a diplomatic status, but you are you are a merit holder in that particular organization. So of course they would be giving you a courtesy visas. Now, on-arrival visas. Now, India is also giving an on-arrival visas. Okay, on-arrival visas. Visas on arrival is those kind of visa production where you will not be getting any visa. You can buy a visa once you enter into the country. Nice. So once you come to India, there is a process that you can buy visa on arrival. Okay, arrival visas, and you can purchase the visa. Okay, but still then the immigration needs to be stamping it. That's a different case. But visa on arrival would be given. You need to collect your visas, and then only you could be allowed to go to the immigration. So that's how the process takes place. Now almost. Almost all countries will consider issuing a visa or another document for the same effect on arrival to the visitor arriving in unforeseen exceptional circumstances. Now, these kinds of visas are only given for the exceptional conditions. Now, let's say there was a serious medical case happened. Okay, now he need to be shifted immediately. There is no time to be shifted immediately. They speak to the embassy. They state that, see, this is the condition. We need to be. There's no possibility to wait for us. We need to be shifting it immediately. So what they do is they immediately call up the embassy and embassy of another. Okay, wherever they are traveling, they call there and they say that, okay, a person by name so and so is coming. So we have not granted him the visa, but he is having the other documents, so please grant him a visa on arrival. So this is where they would have a notification that this person would be traveling from this country to this country and I should be issuing him a visa on arrival. So this is actually purely a game between both the embassies. Okay, generally, all the countries will be issuing a visa. Visa and arrival is little complicated. If you see India, all of the countries is also providing visa on arrival, and India is also one of those countries who gives visa on arrival. Entry and duration period. So visa can also be a single entry, that once you have entered, you can't exit out of the country. Okay, it can also be cancelled as soon as the person leaves the country. Okay, then it can be a double entry, it can be a single entry. It can be given permits to you to travel to another country. Now, if you say you have a visa called a Schengen Visa, which allows you for 18 countries. Okay, Schengen visas allows you for 18 countries. You can move anywhere around, in this 18 countries. So this visa can be a single entry, multiple entry, double entry. So it could be anything kind of things. Okay, once they have exited outside the country, that could be cancelled also. So the visa can be with any such sort of things. Now, once issued, a visa will typically have to be used within a certain period of time. So that's what I said. So once the visa has been stamped inside your passport, you need to be leaving your home country within certain periods. So usually it is 3 months. Within 90 days, you need to be leaving your home country to another destination. So that is the process. Common visas. I told you the Schengen visas. Okay, this is one of the common visas which would be issued, and people love to take this because they are those kind of visas which is given by the European Union, and and you can enter any of the European places. Okay, European Economic Area. You can stay anywhere. 18 countries of European countries you can visit there, and usually is up to 90 days within a 180-day period. So with 90 days and 180 days. So if you're going to an European country, you can stay there for 180 days. Before 180 days getting over, you need to be moving to the other country. So it's like that. Okay. So Schengen visas are those kind of visas where you would be allowed for tourism, family visits, business, anything kind of thing, but you would be allowed for 18 European countries. Okay. Now you have another visa which is called as a Central American Single Visa, which is a visa for Guatemala, okay, El Salvador, Nicaragua. It was implemented by CA4 agreement. It allows citizens of those 4 countries free access to other member countries. So these 4 countries, okay, this Guatemala's and Nicaragua and all these people can, it's a free access. It's a free access to that particular countries. It also allows visitors to any member countries to enter another member country without having to obtain another visa. So whoever is coming into this particular country, they don't require the visa. That is, they don't need to be telling that they are coming for student, they are coming for visitors, nothing. If they have this American single entry visa, these particular places they can stay for free. Okay, that is the Central American single visas. Visa refusal. Now, how is your visa refusal going to happen? Visa refusal is something where if you committed a fraud, if you committed a deceptions, if you committed any misrepresentation, that's what I told you. They keep on asking you. Once your barcode is scanned in the immigration, your entire details come onto the system. Whose daughter or son you are, where are you from, which place you're going to, what you're going to study, all these details will come on the system. But still then, they would be asking also, where are you traveling? Why are you studying? In which course you're studying? Why is it not there in the home country? What is so important that you need to go and study there? So all these points will be checking up. If they feel that there is any misrepresentation, your visa refusal will happen. Simple as that. If they feel that you are financially unstable, your visa refusal will happen. Simple as that. If they feel that you have done any fraudness in your passports or your visas, then your visa will be cancelled. Simple as that. Okay. So if you have any criminal record or if you have been arrested, okay, if you have a penalty or jurisdiction, then yes, you will not be granted a visa. If they feel that you are considered as a national threat, then also they will not allow you to enter into the country. If you do not have a good moral character, okay, whenever you're giving a reference, okay, whenever you're giving up a visa, you would be asked to give a reference of 2 people, okay, who know you very well. Okay, so they would be sending mail to them. If they find that your character was not good, okay, you were very kind of you had a problem of drug addictions and things like that, immediately your visa cancel will be happening. Any previous immigration violations, you were banned for traveling to a particular country, all these things, visa refusal will come up. They had their previous visa application for immigration benefits refused and cannot prove the reason. So they have already been tried into this country. The refusal had happened, but they don't know what is the reason. So in that case also, visa refusal might be a point. Then they cannot prove to have a strong ties to their current country of nationality or residence. So if they say that why they are coming here and they don't know how the country is, what the country is, okay, they don't have any idea of the country, in that case also there might be a visa refusal. So intend to reside or work permanently in the country, he or she will visit if not applying for an immigrant or work visa respectively. So if at all you need to be residing in the country, okay, you need to be residing in the country, in this particular country, then you should, before your student visa, other visa is getting over, you found a job which is offering you a work visa, then you need to be grabbing it. Okay, so if you'll have to stay in the country, so that's how. If not, your other visa would have a refusal there. fails to demonstrate intent to return. So, they say that if your visa is for 180 days, tourist visa, you do not come before 180 days, then again your visa refusal. But that is a higher priority of penalty, okay? Wrong jurisdiction would happen. Fails to provide sufficient evidence, okay, eligibility of visas to show how they provide, you're not eligible for a visa, your financial security is not good. They say that even visa refusal can happen. Does not have a legitimate reason for journey, so they don't know for what reason they are traveling. Does not have adequate means of financial support, I told you. Does not have adequate medical insurance, especially for engaging in high risk activities. So if you've seen that in every country, when they are doing a visa format, they will ask you for an insurance. Okay, if you do not have an insurance paid, then there will be a visa refusal happening. So that is very important. So these are all the kind of things. If you see proper travel arrangements, that is your where do you stay in the destination country, you don't know where do you stay. That is again gone case. So visa refusal will happen. You do not have a health or travel insurance with you. Um, Now, let's say there is a possibility, like if you enter into if from India to Pakistan, Pakistan will not allow you because you're an Indian. They start questioning you so much, so much, so much, so much, so much, and then if they feel you're come for another reason, then they cancel it off. So since it's an hostile country to India, right? So they always have a doubt on us. So it is like that. Then they have, like, if your passport is expiring soon also, they won't give you. Okay, if your passport is expiring very soon, then there is a visa refusal. Okay, if you have any communicable disease like tuberculosis, Ebola, or any sexually transmitted disease, then also they will not allow you to enter into the country. Nowadays, if you're not taking up your vaccine, okay, at least one dose should have been taken up by you. Nowadays, they are permitting only two doses. Okay, if your two doses has been done only, they are permitting you inside the country. But yes, one dose is being acceptable. Okay, provided you need to enter into the country and should be taking it. Okay. What is biometrics? Nice. Biometrics is those kind of thing. Okay, I told you. When you enter into a country, you will be given a card which is called as biometric, BRP, biometric residence permit. Okay, so every year you need to be renewing this. Okay, if biometric card is given for one year, then after 1 year you need to be renewing it, stating that you're staying here for post study work, or you need to be renewing that, stating that you've got a work visa and your conditions should be changing on the BRP card. So that is the BRP, okay, biometric residence permit. So your visa, whatever is stamped onto the passport, will not be valid after you come here. Your card, whichever I told you, the BRP card, would be valid after you come here. So it is a fingerprinted format. Okay. So once you are applying for your visa, if you could see, this is your last process. Okay. Once your documents is collected, you will be sent to the biometric one. In the biometric one, you will be asked to put your fingers. Okay. All your fingers, biometrics will be taken. Okay. And your facial, some countries will ask for your facial. US is asking for your facial biometrics. Okay. Um, so biometrics are those kind of things. So many countries also require a photo to be taken of people entering the country. So it is important that they should have it. And together with fingerprint and face recognition, iris scanning is also one of the three biometric identification technology. Iris scanning is your eyeball. Okay, the eyeball scanning, they will ask you to look into a particular machine and your eyeball will be scanned. So every person, as per the medical rules, every person is having a differentiation in their iris, okay, in their eye, and as their fingers also are different. Okay, face recognition sometimes have a problem, but their fingers and iris won't happen. So that's the reason many of the countries are opting for these three, as if one goes for toss also, the other two can work out. Okay, so this is actually a standardized rule which was actually put up by ICAO, okay, in usage of e-passports. See, tourist visa is an example of tourist visa. This is an example of medical visa. This side, if you see, it will be mentioned as tourist here. Okay, here it would be mentioned for travel, medical purpose. See, medical visa. This is the Schengen visa. Schengen visas. If you could see MULT here, this is the multiple entries. Okay. Before it was 15, now it is 18 countries. Okay, 18 European countries you can enter. So this is all about visas. Any doubt on visas? Any doubt on visas? I'm still presenting it on your screen, so if you
No,
have any
ma'am.
doubt, you could quickly go ahead. Any doubt on visas?
No doubts, ma'am.
Okay, that's nice. So quickly moving on to another topic, which is passports. Okay, visible on your screen? Okay, quickly
Yes,
moving
ma'am.
on. Passport and other travel document. Okay, now we will come to know what is passport and what are the other travel documents should be carrying for your travel. Okay, now passport, it's an official travel document which is issued by that particular country. Okay, let's say passport is being issued by Indian passports. We have UK passports, we have Canadian passports. So all these kinds of passports are there. So it is actually issued by their own government. Okay, that gives a person's identity. So it's actually checked as an identity cards, right? So passport gives you as a person's identity and your nationality, as in which nation you belong to. So it is one of the one of the kind where it enables you to travel from one country to another country. So it is used as an ID card to travel from one country to another country by a consular assistance, okay, by a consulate assistant or by an embassy assistance, okay. Now the document certifies the personal identity and nationality of its holder. Now, standard passports contain the full name. So, what does the passport contain? So, it contains the full name, your photograph, your place and date of birth, your signature, and expiry date of the passport. Okay, and on top of that, you would also be having a passport number, which would be used everywhere. While passports are typically issued by national governments, certain substantial governments are authorized to issue passports to citizens residing within the borders. So usually, it is actually given by the government, but there are sub-governmental authorities which would be granted by the government. So even they can issue passports in the regional sites. Okay. So usually many countries issue these biometric passports, okay, and which is actually embedded by a microchip. So your entire detail will be getting an immigration and making them missionally readable and difficult to counterfeit. So as of 2019, there were over 150 jurisdictions issuing e-passports. So we had around 150 countries issuing this e-passports, okay, which is embedded by the microchips. But previously, we were using all non-biometric machine-readable passport. That is our normal passports, okay, which is not an e-passport, a normal passport. So most of the people still have it, but it is not implemented in the country of India, where the e-passports have not come into India still. So we are following with our old passport production only. Okay. Now we will come to know what are the types of passport. Great. Emergency passport. Now what is an emergency passport? Emergency passport is issued to those type of persons whose passports were lost. Let's say they were having the passport and they lost the passport. So for them, they need to be traveling very quickly. In that conditions, the emergency passport is being given to them to replace their other passport. Okay, that's a kind of duplicate process. Okay, these passports are intended for very short time duration, so this is very applicable for very short time. Okay, this is only allowed for traveling, that is leaving countries, but they need to be collecting their regular passports within that particular time. Okay, now that is emergency passport. Now see, emergency passport certificate, and this is emergency passport of United Kingdom, UK's Great Britain, Northern Ireland passport. This is emergency passport of India. It's white color. Okay, that's the reason you're not able to see it. Diplomatic and official passports. Now you have something called as diplomatic and official passports. Diplomatic passports are those issued typically for the head of the government. Okay, it should be accredited diplomats. That is your military high positions, air force high positions, navy high positions. Okay, or if he or she is in head of a state or head of a government. So Mr. Modi would have been issued a diplomatic passport. Okay, to the senior foreign ministry employees, individuals holding diplomatic passports. Okay, now official passports is those kind of passport which is issued to the senior government officials like the PA of the ministers. Okay, PA of any such diplomats. So all for them, these official passports would be given for them to travel officially across the nation. A public affairs passport is given to Chinese nationals, okay, holding senior positions in state-owned companies. So this has actually been more in China, okay, where public affairs passport is given to those type of people. Now I'll show the example. See, official passport is also white color passport. Okay, emergency passport. That's the reason I said your emergency passport is just valid for some days until and unless they obtain the original passport. Okay, now official passport is white color passports. Fine. Now, this is our normal passport, the second one, the bluish, okay, normal Indian passport. If you could see the red color one, that's the diplomatic passport, which would be given to, head of the state or government, okay. It's a red color passport. So Mr. Modi would be having this. Now, what is the validity? Now, passport have a limited validity. Okay, usually between 5 and 10 years. Okay, usually it is at 10 years, not 5 years too. They give it for 10 years. Now, many countries require passport to be valid for a minimum of 6 months beyond the planned date of departure, as well as having at least two to four blank pages. It is recommended that the passport be valid for and last at least 6 months from the departure date, as many airlines deny boarding to between these two. If we say your passport should be valid if you're traveling now, if I am traveling 1st of March, my passport should be March. Okay, my passport should be expiring by October. So I have 7 months left. So if you are traveling into another country, your passport should have the expiry date of 6 months. So it should be 6 months ahead. If you are because none of the airline will allow that, because within 3 months you need to be coming back to your home country. You can do it here, but it's a little complicated one. They need to go to embassy, and you need to wait for 3 months. Within this 3 months, if the government is holding you for any such problem, then you won't be having your passport again on toss. So that is something where that's the reason they would be denying you for the travel. Now, 6 essential documents. Now, I have not included one slide in this. Uh, okay, I'll tell you the documents what and all is required. Now, first and foremost, if you're traveling internationally, you should have a passport, major one, passport with free pages in it. Every pages in the passport shouldn't be stamped by your what do you say, your entry and exit. Okay, if you feel that there is no empty sheets in the passport, you need to be going again and collecting the new passport with the sheets. Okay, there should be at least 3 to 4 empty sheets available in your passport. Okay, so you, first and foremost, you should have your passport. Second is, of course, visa. If you'll have to be granting entry into another country, you should be having visa. Third one, you should have a forex card, a foreign currency, that is, whichever country you are traveling. If you Indian currency would not be valid everywhere, right? Right? It's not acceptable. So what you should do, you need to be doing a foreign exchange. You should have a currency of that particular country wherever you are traveling. So that is a foreign currency. You should be also having the travel insurance. I told you, whenever they are taking up for a visa, you need to be paying approximately around 75,000 for your insurance only. Okay, that's important. Without the insurance, your visa refusal could happen. Okay, so you need to be paying up for the visas too. Okay, so travel insurance should be there. You should have the major thing, which is air ticket. Without that, you wouldn't be traveling to the other country. You should all now, there is a note here for your air ticket. A confirmed onwards and return air ticket is necessary document to apply for visa. Okay, you should have a confirmed ticket for applying for visa. However, if due to some reason your visa application rejected, then your flight tickets will get wasted. So, of course, if you say that you're given for your visa and your visa has been not accepted, there is a rejection, but you're already booked your flight. Now, what will you do? For this reason, it is better to buy a refundable cancellation ticket. So always don't go for a non-refundable one, or go for a refundable one. If at all any such situation happens, you could be able to get back your money. Okay. They are slightly expensive, and even when cancelling, you may not get 100% of the money back. So check if there is an option for buying a refundable cancelable ticket, and also study its terms and conditions before it. It's a little costly. Okay, refundable tickets are a little costly, but and you won't be getting, none of the transports will provide 100% refund, right? 25% would be taken by them, as 20% would be taken by them. In that conditions, it would go like that, but rest of the amount you would be getting it, right? So it's always good you take up a refundable one. Number 6, proof of accommodation or hotel booking. So you need to be holding it in the immigration purpose. They might ask you where you're going to stay. Even if you're a student, you should be knowing where you're going to stay. Okay, so they will ask you where do you stay. Okay, how far it is from your university. So all these questions would be showed up back to back. So on arrival, you need to be showing a copy of it, or you need to be showing that my cousin has been staying here, and or my brother or my sister or my dad, my mom is a resident here, so they are staying here, so I could stay with them. So all these kinds of things should be said clearly to them to understand it. So these are the 6 types of travel documents which you need to be taking up with you. Now I have to include one more in this, which is recently made available, which is your vaccinations. Nice. Now your vaccinations is much more important. Okay, if you say that you should also be collecting your medical documents. Okay, those are some of the other documents which you need to be carrying with you, other travel documents. Okay, which would be your medical visas. Sorry, your medical checkup document. Okay, which denotes whether you have a tuberculosis, whether you have any sexually transmitted disease, whether you have Ebola, all those kinds of things, yellow fever, all those kinds of things will be clearly mentioned in the medical document. Okay, then you should, nowadays, since COVID has come into force, so you need to be carrying your vaccination certificate with you. Okay, And if you have come up from Africa, yes, you are coming from Africa and you are entering into India, you should have all sorts of vaccination certificates from yellow fever, Ebola, all these kinds of diseases. Vaccination card should be actually there with you. So some of the vaccination cards, okay, internationally, you should be traveling with a vaccination card and also your medical checkup documents. So these are the other documents which should be carried by you while traveling. Okay, is that clear? Is that clear? Is there any doubt in this? Is any doubt in this? All are sleeping or what? Guys?
No, ma'am, not sleeping.
No, ma'am.
Acha, I thought everyone slept off, yeah? What's happening? You feeling tired, huh?
No, I'm not tired.
Okay, nice. So it's great that we are going to finish our subject for today only, because we are left out with another two more topics, which is your global tourism and your future perspective. Okay. Now for global tourism, I will tell you, I will be taking only one PDF. But I have also included one of the PDF in this, but try to read that. It's a little bit huge PDF, but same included. It's been little more explained. Okay, so for the future perspective, that is your future aviation, how your future aviation would lead me, what is the idea of the ICAO. So all these things I have just updated it for reading. So if you have time, just go through that, read it. Okay, but I would be taking a small PDF explaining everything inside that. Now if I go to the global tourism and aviation industry, so we are left out only with global tourism and aviation industry and future perspective. So we'll finish that off for today, and we will wind up. Nice. Now this is actually done by ICAO, because we won't be getting any of the PDFs or PPT regarding the global perspective, because this has to be done by either of the team. Now if you see what is the global tourism and aviation industry development is shown here. Now beyond the industry, aviation, now I'll make you to understand, don't get confused to seeing at the numbers. I'm making you to understand that. Now, beyond the industry, aviation global employment and GDP impact was so much. Okay, your tourism catalyst, induced, direct, indirect, aviation direct. So, if you could see, your development of the jobs was this much. Now, it was 10.2 million jobs. Then it got rise to 10.8 million. Then it got rise to 7.8 million. Then 36.7 million. Then now we are expected by 2035, we are expected to gain 65.5 million. Okay, now when you come to the GDP, okay, it is 704.4 billion. We have come rise to 2.7 trillion right now. That's the tourism catalyst. Okay, this is the tourism catalyst. Okay, now which is actually implemented into the aviation industry. Okay, this is the jobs, around the jobs, 65.5 million